The rise. 2,000 years ago, the city of Rome stood at the center of the ancient world, a growing republic built on ambition, conquest, and power. Its streets were alive with merchants, soldiers, politicians, and dreamers, each seeking glory in a society where fame could mean immortality. Rome was not just a city. It was an idea, one that demanded strength from those who wished to lead it. Among Rome's noble families was a young man named Gaius Julius Caesar. Born into privilege but surrounded by political danger, Caesar quickly learned that survival in Rome required intelligence, courage, and ambition. He studied history, rhetoric, and strategy, preparing himself for a future far greater than ordinary life. The Roman Senate ruled the Republic, but beneath its marble halls lay rivalry and corruption. Powerful men competed endlessly, forming alliances one day and betraying each other the next. Caesar understood that politics in Rome was a battlefield without swords. Gifted with charisma and unmatched confidence, Caesar won the support of the people. His speeches inspired crowds, promising reform and prosperity. While the elite viewed him with suspicion, the common citizens began to see him as their champion. Given command of Roman legions, Caesar marched north into Gaul, a vast and dangerous land. There, he transformed from politician into legend. Through discipline, strategy, and relentless determination, his armies conquered territory larger than Rome itself. With every victory, Caesar's fame grew, and so did fear in Rome. Conqueror of Gaul, Roman soldiers trained endlessly, forming one of the most powerful military forces in history. In brutal campaigns across Gaul, Caesar demonstrated tactical genius. Battles were fierce and unforgiving, but his leadership turned chaos into victory. Caesar fought alongside his men and shared their hardships. He spoke not as a distant commander, but as one of them. This loyalty made his army devoted beyond measure. After years of war, Caesar returned victorious. Rome celebrated with grand triumphs, parades filled with cheering crowds, and unimaginable wealth. To the people, he was a hero, but to many senators, he had become something far more dangerous. The Senate watched nervously as Caesar's popularity surpassed their authority. They feared that one man now held too much power. And fear, in Rome, often led to conspiracy. Power struggle. In 49 BCE, Caesar faced an impossible choice. Ordered to surrender his army, he instead crossed the Rubicon River, an act of open rebellion. With that single decision, civil war began. There would be no turning back. Rome turned against itself as armies clashed across the Republic. Caesar's brilliance brought victory after victory, until his enemies were defeated. He returned to Rome not as a servant of the Republic, but as its master. In Egypt, Caesar encountered Cleopatra, a queen as intelligent as she was ambitious. Their alliance reshaped politics across the Mediterranean. Together, they represented a new vision of power that shocked traditional Rome. Betrayal. Declared dictator for life, Caesar introduced reforms that strengthened Rome and aided its citizens. Yet many senators believed the Republic itself was dying. To them, Caesar was no longer a leader, but a king. Behind closed doors, a group of senators began plotting. They convinced themselves that assassination was not betrayal, but salvation. Among them stood men Caesar trusted. On the eve of the Ides of March, Rome rested under uneasy skies. Rumors spread, warnings were ignored, and fate moved silently closer. On March 15, 44 BCE, Caesar entered the Senate. Surrounded by conspirators, daggers were drawn. In moments that would echo through history, Julius Caesar fell beneath the blades of those he once called allies. The Republic had been defended or destroyed. Legacy. Instead of restoring order, Caesar's death plunged Rome into chaos. Violence spread through the streets as power once again became the ultimate prize. At his funeral, citizens mourned deeply. To many, Caesar was not a tyrant, but a visionary taken too soon. His death ignited emotions that conspirators could not control. From the ashes emerged Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian. Through strategy and patience, he would rise to become Augustus, Rome's first emperor. The republic Caesar had changed forever would never return. Julius Caesar's life reshaped history. General, politician, reformer, and legend, his story marked the end of one era and the beginning of another. Even today, His name remains a symbol of ambition, power, and destiny. Because some men do not simply live in history. They become history itself. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more journeys into history. Share this video, and leave a comment below. Your voice keeps history alive.